I'm learning Japanese. I think I'm learning Japanese. I really think so. Welcome to Sashimi Street. Today's show is brought to you by the numbers 41 through 50 and the Hiragana characters in the Sa column, and from the support of Fund for Teachers, because teachers need money. 4 10 1 4 10 2 4 10 3 4 10 4 4 10 5 4 10 6 4 10 7 4 10 8 4 10 9 5 10
さしすせそあいうえおかきくけこさしすせそ
Tongue twister of the day.
消防車、清掃車、散水車 A fire truck, a street cleaner, a water wagon. 消防車、清掃車、散水車、消防車、清掃車、散水車、消防車、清掃車、散水車
Today's words and sentences. 1月、2月、3月、4月、5月、6月、7月、8月、9月、10月、11月、12月、1日、2日、3日、4日、5日、6日、7日、8日、9日、10日、11日、12日、13日、14日、15日、16日、17日、18日、19日、20日、21日、22日、23日、24日、25日、26日、27日、28日、29日、30日、31日。誕生日はです。誕生日はいつですか？季節、春、夏、秋、冬。Today's haiku with Basho. Choose which translation sounds the best. 秋深き、隣は何をする人ぞ。It is deep autumn. My neighbor, how does he live, I wonder? Autumn's end. How does my neighbor live? In my dark winter lying ill, at last I ask, how fares my neighbor? Today's TPR. 暑いです。暖かいです。涼しいです。寒いです。Today's fun facts about Japan.
It was customary in ancient Japan for women to blacken their teeth with dye as white teeth were considered ugly. In the past, men shaved their heads to apologize, and women cut their hair after breaking up with their boyfriends. For many Japanese couples, Christmas is celebrated like Valentine's Day in the West. Poorly written English can be found everywhere, including on t-shirts and other fashion items.
Dialogue with John and Jane. はじめまして。名前はジョンです。6年生です。 11歳です。誕生日は12月31日です。どうぞよろしく。
はじめまして。名前はジェインです。5年生です。10歳です。誕生日は1月1日です。どうぞよろしく。
誕生日はいつですか？
誕生日は1月1日です。
季節は何ですか？
季節は冬です。
冬はどうですか？
冬は寒いです。
Yokai of the day.
Hikeshi Baba, meaning fire extinguishing old woman, is a white-haired old woman who wanders from house to house blowing out lanterns.
For many in the US, Christmas is celebrated as a religious holiday. However, for many in Japan, Christmas is celebrated as a commercial holiday, where the focus is more on gift giving and on the meal they eat. During Christmas, it is common for Japanese families to have a Christmas cake, which is a strawberry shortcake with Christmas-themed decorations, and to have a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. There are over 1,000 Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurants in Japan, and when they started in the 1970s, they were successful with a marketing campaign that they did in Christmas. Of course, it also helps that their mascot, Colonel Sanders, looks like Santa Claus. At the entrance of most Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurants in Japan stands a life-size plastic statue of Colonel Sanders. And during Christmas, the statue is dressed up in a Santa Claus's outfit. On the other hand, in Japan, New Year's is celebrated as a religious holiday. The celebration begins in midnight with the ringing of temple bells 108 times, which represents the many sins that humans are believed to have. During the New Year's Day, many Japanese visit their local temples. Because most Japanese syllables are open, ending with a vowel sound, Japanese words tend to be very long, even for many Japanese people, so they have come up with shortened abbreviated words called Ryakugo. Of course, it is only used in casual settings like between friends. Merry Christmas, Meri Kurisumasu, becomes Merikuri. Happy New Year's, Akemashite omedetou gozaimasu, becomes Akeome. Proverb of the day. 取らぬ狸の川残業. Count the skins of raccoons which have not been caught. Similar proverb. Don't count your chickens before they've hatched. Simple Shinto. Birth of the Three Gods. Izanami dies giving birth to the fire god. Izanagi goes to the underworld to find Izanami. He finds her in the dark. He convinces her to return with him. However, when he lights his comb to get a good look, he sees her rotting flesh. He runs and she chases him. He seals the entrance with a large boulder. Izanami yells that she will destroy 1,000 lives every day. Izanagi replies that he will give life to 1,500, and so begins the cycle of life and death. Izanagi washes himself in the water. Amaterasu, the sun goddess, is born from his left eye. Tsukuyomi, the moon god, is born from his right eye. And Susanoo, the storm god, is born from his nose. Izanagi divides the world between the three gods. Today's onomatopoeia.
Mera mera means fire burning. Hoka hoka means warm. Poka poka means nice and warm. Mushi mushi means hot and humid. Beto beto means sticky. Bisho bisho means soaked. Jime jime means clammy.
Kaguyahime. Mukashi mukashi aru tokoro ni, in a take forest, an old taketori sees a shining take, and inside it finds a baby girl. He and his wife, who had no children, decide to raise her and name her Kaguyahime. From then on, whenever he caught a take, he would find gold inside. Kaguyahime in a few months grows from an infant into a beautiful woman. She attracts many suitors. There are 5 princes that pursue her, but uninterested, she gives each of them an impossible task that they eventually fail at completing. Hearing of her beauty, the Mikado visits and he falls in love with her. She rejects his proposal for marriage, but they continue to exchange letters. Kaguyahime reveals that she is not from Earth and must return to the moon. The Mikado sends guards to prevent her from returning, but they fail and the moon people take her back. She leaves a letter for the Mikado and a potion for eternal life. He does not take the potion because he does not wish to live in eternity without her. He sends his guards with his letter and the potion to burn on the tallest mountain, where the smoke would reach her on the moon. The Japanese word for eternal life is fushi, and the mountain where the letter and potion were burnt over time becomes known as Fujisan. Oshi mai. Today's loanwords. Ainu are people indigenous to northern Japan with their own language. There are some loanwords from the Ainu language. Rakko, the Japanese word for sea otter, is from the Ainu language. Tonakai, the Japanese word for reindeer, is from the Ainu language. Asuka and Nara, period. The people create capital cities modeled after the Chinese. Buddhism enters from China. Conflicts occur in politics as more temples are built in the capital. Pop quiz. In Kaguyahime, what did Kaguyahime leave for the Mikado, and what did he do with it? True or false? It was customary in ancient Japan for women to blacken their teeth with dye, as white teeth were considered ugly. I'm learning Japanese. I think I'm learning Japanese. I really think so. To recap, you should now be able to talk about the date, say your birthday, and talk about the seasons.